Welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh video. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. Today, there's a couple of cards I want to talk about. I think it's safe to say these cards are pretty damn strong and don't really belong in the Yu-Gi-Oh game going forward. And as much as I hope they'll get banned in the August ban list, two of these four cards are confirmed to be in the Quarter Century Bonanza and Tin of Dueling Mirrors, so we are stuck with them for now. Any guesses to what cards we might be talking about yet? There's only 3 cards in Bonanza. No? Well, don't worry. In my experience, I've heard maybe 2 people ever say that 2 of these cards should be banned. So let's talk about it. Snake Eyes Fiendsmith is obviously the best deck available. Almost every card is a starter or an extender, both actually, starter and an extender. Wanted, Diabellstar, Ash, Poplar, Original, Engraver, and with the addition of Closed Moon of the Heaven, any 2 monsters in the game are full Fiendsmith combo, which can also be the starter you need to play literally any strategy. So essentially, there's no stopping the deck. Not even Shifter can get the job done. These cards are just too powerful and generic. And though I genuinely believe Fiendsmith Engraver should be banned, if not limited, that card is not being touched until 2026 at the earliest. But even if Dante from Devil May Cry remains in the game, I did mention another card that grants him strength. Moon of the Closed Heaven takes any 2-effect monster and turns it into Fiendsmith, Requiem, or Sequence, which turns into literally anything you want. And while I genuinely believe Engraver does not belong in the Yu-Gi-Oh card game, with him having absolutely no restrictions in his text or in his archetype's text, Moon of the Closed Heaven multiplies his strength tenfold. That's why I believe she is the first card we need to ban. But Toxix, Moon came out in Infinite Forbidden along with the other Fiendsmith cards. It's way too soon to ban it. Is it though? Konami specifically said they wanted us to get creative with the new info cards, and that is why the next ban list would be at the end of August, so we could use the new cards. In addition, info had some, let's just say, unique rarity distribution. White Forest, God, that's a stupid name. White Woods has 3 secret rares, 3 ultra rares, and a super rare. The new TCG Premier Archetype Mimigul, that's my favorite, has 2 ultras and 5 supers. The new Exodia cards are full of ultras and supers. I think there's like 6 supers and like 4 ultras. Why couldn't Closed Heaven take up even 1 slot from any of these archetypes? Are you really telling me the greedy-ass company that is the Yu-Gi-Oh TCG doesn't care enough about money that they would intentionally not print the card in even super rare, let alone ultra or secret? Magical Idol Soul and fucking Koibiko are super rares, but Closed Moon isn't? Maybe I'm just yapping, but it honestly seems that they only put Closed Moon in this set so they could ban her as soon as possible to rein Fiendsmith in. I truly do think that's the case here, and I think it's a very good decision, though Engraver is obviously the issue here. Just fucking limit the guy if you're gonna do nothing else. If Moon doesn't get banned, I hope Engraver gets limited this ban list. He probably won't though. That card avoids restrictions like no one else. The next card I think needs the axe is also related to Fiendsmith. God, this guy has an entire fucking fan club. I suppose it's fine, because this tier 3 sub for Fiendsmith is going to go straight down into the burning abyss of the Forbidden List where she belongs. Beatrice, Lady of the Eternal, a rank 6 Xyz. Once per turn, quick effect, attach 1 material as cost, then send 1 card from your deck to the graveyard. What the fuck? What is this card? This card has never been in a better spot. Not only is it extremely easy to summon with the Fiendsmith cards, there have literally never been better things to send to the graveyard than there are now. Almost every deck in recent years that doesn't have the old Konami make restriction go hey benefits from sending a card to the graveyard. And even if it doesn't set up your combo play, there are insane cards that benefit from being in the graveyard like Keldo or Mudora, any tier limits monster, a Snake Eyes guy for the Oak you opened up with, transaction rollback being sent on your turn, and the trap you plan to copy with rollback on the following turn, Elemental Burst, fucking Shiranui Solitaire, what's it called? Spectre Ghost Meets Girl, the Mayakashi card? I don't remember the name of that trap card, but the point still stands. Beatrice is fucking insane, and all that needed to be less ridiculous was including 1 Burning Abyss monster. Granted, I have no idea how you'd ever summon her in that way, but who cares? This card enables everything you could ever ask for, and that's why I think she's the next card that needs to go, though that one's not like a hot opinion. Once again, the next card is one I've already mentioned, and you probably already know what it is, seeing as it's the thumbnail of this video. Diabellstar the Black Witch. Look, as much as I love having her in my Fortune Lady deck, this card cannot continue to exist. One of the main problems with Snake Eyes, as I said, is that every starter is also an extender. Ash, Poplar, and Bonfire are 1-card combos, whereas Diabellstar or Wanted is a 1.5 card combo. That means Diabellstar is 6 1-card combos in your deck, as well as 6 combo extenders. That is not okay! In both Master Duel and in the OCG, they opted to limit Ash and Wanted Seeker of Sinful Spoils. And it did nothing! Literally nothing changed. This stopped the deck from being slightly more egregious, but it did not stop it from being the best deck by a country mile. Banning Diabellstar takes away 6 of Snake Eyes starters and extenders, as well as its main form of recursion with Wanted shuffling back in Original. This loss of engine can't be replaced by hand traps either. They'll actually have to play more of the Snake Eyes cards now, so we'll see more Birch, you'll probably see 3 Poplar, you'll probably see a second Original or a second Temple, maybe even fucking second Oak. This also means you can now actually imperm Snake Eyes Ash and have it do things. You can Ash Original Simple Spoils and feel like you didn't just waste your time or resources. They also don't get to send Flambish from the hand, gaining more resources from what would normally be a brick. They don't get to draw 1 card, putting Original or Temple back in the deck. This makes the archetype so much more vulnerable without stopping it from being an actual deck. A lot of people think we should ban Flambish, but then what do the Snake Eyes cards do? It would become a main deck archetype that is only good at summoning from the extra deck, and while it's currently already that, it can survive just being the main deck cards. But making it so the card only functions with generic extra deck cards? That's just not right. A deck should always be functional as a deck first and function as an engine second, and banning Flamberge, broken as that big ol' bitch may be, just isn't the way to do it. We should actually never resort to killing a deck. Unless we're talking about Sky Striker, Tearlaments, Horus, Kishtira, or the Bestials. Then it's okay. Then we can ban every card in those archetype with no remorse. All of them deserve to rot. Also Virtual World and Eldritch. Oh, Eldritch specifically ban all of them. But even outside of Snake Eyes, banning Diabellstar hurts Infernoid or Race or Infernoble, literally every other deck that can use Snake Eyes as an engine piece. Not to mention, it also weakens some upcoming cards like the Azamina archetype. Banning Diabellstar would prevent Azamina Endboards from reaching the true meaning of life, as well as stop Azamina from becoming a supplementary engine from Snake Eyes as it is in the OCG, all while continuing to allow the decks related to Diabellstar's lore to actually function as decks. You can argue all you want about banning Original Sinful Spoils or Flamberge, and honestly I agree with the OSS ban as well. But even without it, those decks are still insane. Without Diabellstar, they're just a bit much. Still strong, but not OP and not unplayable. Now, the last card that needs to be banned is one that I've stood firm on since it's released in Duelist Nexus. Crimson Dragon. The Guardian of Humanity, Crimson Dragon, cannot continue to stay in the game. Though primarily used in Centurion-based decks, this card will always be usable in any synchro strategy to summon out any of the powerful dragon synchros we have. Trishula, Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, Dissipator, Shooting Majestic Star Dragon, Majestic Star Dragon, Shooting Quasar Dragon, Cosmic Blazar Dragon, Red Supernova Dragon, so much more, with the most frequent summon target being Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity. Most synchro decks restrict you into summoning a specific kind of card. TGs lock you into TGs or machines, it's one of the two. RDA locks you into Dark Dragons. But Crimson Dragon, in conjunction with an archetypal boss monster, grants you an unparalleled level of utility as well as recursion. As long as this card exists in the game, any future synchro deck will be looked through the lens of, can it summon Crimson Dragon at a 12 though? This card's very existence breaks any regulation a synchro deck can and should have. Why play just that synchro deck when you can play it and Centurion, granting you whatever the hell you can dream of? We're already seeing it with Whitewood Centurion, Horus Centurion, and RDA Centurion. And no, Centurion isn't the problem, it's just really good at summoning out specifically Crimson Dragon because they summon into Synchro 12s. Even the new Blue Eye stuff is absolutely ridiculous, but it's made even better because of this card. Spirit summons it, and then on summon it adds Synchro Rumble. Synchro Rumble revives Spirit, and then you can turn either Crimson or the revived Spirit into the new Blue Eye Synchro, becoming a level 12 target for Crimson to summon something with. I understand that a big appeal to this card is that its utility is so vast, but because of how much it provides, the thought of using other Synchro monsters will just never again be considered. Why bother? This card does everything you could ask and more. And that's coming from the Stardust Synchron guy. Synchro decks are my whole being. Infernoble, Fortune Lady, Synchron, Stardust, RDA, Vendred Synchro. If I can play Synchro monsters, I will. They are my favorite part of the YuGiOh TCG itself. But this card needs to go. The point of this video is to talk about Diabellstar and Crimson Dragon in particular. I put in Closed Moon and Beatrice because I felt they also needed to go, and it'd be easier to sequence into Diabellstar as a ban if we also talked about getting rid of Closed Moon and Beatrice's bans, because those are other cards that in conjunction with the Diabellstar ban would make the game way better, though simply banning any of the cards that I mentioned today will immediately be better for the game. But like I said, though the point of this video was to talk about those two, it wouldn't be fair to me if I didn't mention a few other cards that should also be banned. Kastira Fenrir, Kastira Unicorn, Bystial Rebellion, Imseti, Bystial Jewess, fucking all the Bystials, Dimension Shifter, Appaloosa, IP Masquerena, triple fucking Talents, and Thrust can also fuck right off. I don't care how you feel, you're wrong if you disagree. Also D-Barrier, but like, that's a bit to a lesser extent, though I'd be very happy if it got banned anytime. Look, I know Diabellstar and Crimson will live to see at least the following ban list, but I truly hope Konami realizes that these cards need to go. Let me know in the comments if there's a card that you think should be banned. I don't know what this upcoming ban list will bring, but if a Soul comes back with an errata and only being able to summon a Noble Knight monster, it'll be a good day. Take care of yourselves, everybody. Until next time, I'll see you all then. Bye-bye!